Hi, Dr. Rutherford here.
Dr. Gates, we're both chiropractors, certified functional medicine practitioner, board certified chiropractic neurologist.
Okay. No, I keep forgetting to do that because this is mostly going to our patients. If you still remember me from the last time you came in, or for the first time you came in, or whatever. But today I wanted to talk about something I say to a lot of you when we first talk about you deciding whether you want to do the program or not. In that report, in which I usually review the report that has been put together so that you can understand what we're going to do and so on and so forth. And you may remember me saying, our goal is to get you better and keep you better. And that's what these little snippets are about. And we're serious about that because our motto here in a lot of ways is less is more. Less supplements are more, less intervention is more. The more that you can do on your own when you're done, the better off you're going to be. I feel it empowers that person. I feel like if a person is always dependent on us or somebody else, then I think it robs their energy a little bit, or I think it robs their certainty or their strength, or I don't know if that sounds esoteric, but to me it's not. And in doing so, we give you the tools at the end to be able to stay better. If Dr. Gates has found you got a bad cerebellum, let me tell you, I do my cerebellar exercises 3 times a day. They take me 3 minutes. I do them 3 times a day, like my life depended on it. I've had fibromyalgia and peripheral neuropathy and chronic fatigue. I've had multiple concussions, name it. If we treat it, I've got it, but it's 3 minutes, 3 times a day. Some people tell me, oh, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. We wouldn't be giving it to you if it wasn't doing anything. It's very important because you need to, and if we gave you a dietary recommendations, you need to follow those. You do not have the right to change them at some point in time because you read some article or listened to Dr. Oz, or your neighbor came up with some new immune suppressant sold as a multi-level marketing vitamin or something like that. Because the patterns that you have that you came in with that caused your chronic problem, whether it was fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue or peripheral neuropathy or dizziness or vertigo or balance, or if you specifically came in here for a gut problem or depression or something like that, those patterns that you have are never going to change. The parts of your brain that aren't firing properly are always going to have a propensity not to want to fire properly. It's kind of like you go to the gym, you go for a while, you're feeling pretty good, you're doing it, and then maybe I can go twice a week. Maybe I go once a week. Maybe I'll go every other week. No, if you have these brain issues, you need to keep doing these exercises. And not only will it keep you from going backwards, but it'll actually improve the situation over a period of time, because it's been shown that brains will get better for nervous system will get better for a couple of years once you start doing something to make them better. So you can actually keep getting better for a couple of years neurologically after you get out of here. But if you have low blood sugar, I mean, I'm 62 years old. I've still got reactive hypoglycemia. If you have insulin resistance, if you have diabetes, if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which you're always going to have forever because it's an autoimmune problem. If you have what else? Inflammatory issues, whatever IBS. You have, IBS, you now have a propensity to develop that again in the future. And so the keys that we're giving you are the keys to not only stay better, but actually get better. The Chinese say, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but it makes sense to me. They say once you start a program like this, it takes 7 years for your entire system and all your cells to reproduce themselves in a much healthier fashion. And whether it's 7 years or not, we say it's a lifetime. We say if you keep doing the things that we tell you to do, you are going to continue to stay better. So what happens? You call us and say, my fibromyalgia is back. The first thing we're going to say is, what did you change? What did you change? Are you not doing your exercises? For those of you who have peripheral neuropathy, you're not doing your rebuilder or whatever it is once a week or whatever you have them doing it. If you have, or we're going to say, or did you start eating gluten? That's the most common one. Or we're going to say, did you stop taking this? Although we keep these supplements to a minimum, when we tell you need a supplement, you need a supplement. And so, so when you call us and say that, we say, go back on the diet for a couple of weeks, a month. Usually you say, take the Repair Vite, because by that time, if you've been off of it for a while, you've probably damaged the inside of your gut again. And the vast majority of people call us back in far less than a month and say, I'm doing much better. Now, if you weren't doing much better, we could almost predict what the next thing is going to be, because the patterns that you have, we should have titled this, The Patterns That You Have Don't Change. And the patterns that you have don't change. You can almost know what the next thing is going to be. Maybe you had a thyroid problem and you didn't need medication, and now you do. Or, you know, maybe your gut has morphed onto a different type of a bacterial imbalance, and now you need this supplement. It's rarely something that requires another whole program or anything like that. But you need to really, really get that this is you. I have a propensity towards this fibromyalgia because I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, I have celiac, I have a number of food sensitivities, and so on and so forth. I'll never be able to change that. And as long as I click to that, I am good. But if I go out to dinner and one day I see something and I'm going to eat it because I just am overwhelmed that I can't not put my hand on that pizza, and I take 3 bites of it, I know I'm going to feel bad for 3 days, but I also know that if I go back to doing what I was told to do, I'm going to be fine. So really, that's kind of my little pep talk, or maybe it's not even a pep talk. It's just kind of a realization of, I think a lot of people think that my gut's better now, I'm like normal again. You were whatever you were before you walked in here, except you're controlling it now. As soon as you get away from that, you're not controlling it anymore.
Exactly. And I was going to talk about recipes today, but I think that pretty well hits the main issue. I like what you said.
Okay.
So we'll save recipes for next week, but I'm 100% in agreement with what Dr. Rutherford said. I don't have anything to add to that, because that's really the case for a lot of our patients.
Okay.
The patterns don't change.
So we'll see you next week. Don't change your program. All right.
See you next week.
Okay.